Hello, good morning. I got the video uploaded last night, finally. Took forever. Don't know how long I can do that. It takes too damn much time. But I'll try if I can to keep doing them. Yeah, I finished the conchos yesterday. There's your end result of sawing it out of this metal. And I think that's about... oh man, I don't even know what gauge this is. It's concho gauge. Some of your smaller conchos will be out of like 20 or 18. This is a little thicker. 22 is really thin. It will rust out. But here is the end result of the concho that I hand cut out yesterday with this handsaw, and you can see there's 6 pieces here. The CC's for Cody Carter, and then it's not the same weird in it. Not the same guy, but anyways, I'll put on with high heat. I did a video for putting high heat on. Man, it takes too long. I don't know. I'll try to get it uploaded. But anyways, basically what I did was I tinned it on the back. Put my silver down first, and the copper dots, little bitty copper dots. I mean, they're little bitty. There are 3. What size are those? 1/8 inch. And I cut those out right here. I got the saw here. Cut them out. I just wiggle around on the saw. Do the same thing. I tin the flux them and high heat solder on them, and then I dome this concho, put it in a domer, and then I hit it with the silver on it with the high heat, and then come back and polish it out. Come back. Well, actually, I clean off the surface of the silver, put more flux just down the center of that flower, and then set it on my fire brick, and then heat it up. Got a pick, hold it down, and then it's over there. That's it. And then I gray it. We'll put a solution on there. I can't give away all my secrets, but you know, that's it. That's the 2. That's the finished product. So actually, I got a whole set. These are screw back conchos. Same process. I stuck them in here because it's easier. But I cut out all the silver, the Nasty Moon, with the girl on there. That's double, just like the conchos. The little bitty flowers are the same. Those are 3/4 dots. They go under the swells of the saddle. These go under the cantle. They're 1.25 inches, and these are 1.5 inches, so they'll be in the front, and then those slotted conchos will be on the back where saddle strings go through them and tie. So that's pretty much a set right there. And the low heat conchos that I was working on singing in the video, that's them. Actually, finished kind of engraving. Now I got to go around the borders, engrave those. But you know, and then polish them. I mean, I kind of messed up, polished them first, then put the finish on them. But I was not thinking as in a hurry. But these were the reason I low heat these. I don't normally do that. Normally it's the screw back conchos are high heat. The saddle, you don't want them to move. Basically, that's it. That ain't coming off. I mean, it break that, but you know, that ain't coming off. If you put low heat on the back of this and then they tighten them down on the saddle, it'll break off. Like I said, some people do it, some people don't. A lot of guys are going to have to use low heat on top of these. They're going to have to. The reason why I like high heat. They're going to have to high heat the back of this screw first, and then they're going to have to put their silver on after they got that on the low heat, because it's 300 degrees versus 1200. But like I said, everything, there's a process to everything. I don't like giving up my secrets. Although some of them were easily given to me. You know, my dad's old school cowboy. Hey, Dad, how you get that horse to move like that? Watch and learn. Well, you know, what I tell you to watch and learn, and I never understood that. It always made me mad. But the older I got, that was when I was younger, and it kind of just, I don't care. If you're not going to show me, I don't give a damn. I had to learn on my own, but you know what? He's right. It's the truth of it. If you want to learn something bad enough or do something bad enough, you're gonna study it. You're gonna watch it. You're gonna learn all you can about it. This is no different. It's just part of it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that they're cowboys. That's the mentality. They learned it the damn hard way, and they're not about to make it any easier on you. I'm kind of the same way. I had to learn a lot of things the hard way. But in that area, and there's a lot of people that help me. If a guy shows willingness to learn, and his heart's in it, I mean, that you can actually tell this guy or this kid, man, he wants to be this. He wants to be a cowboy bad, or he wants to do this stuff bad. He's serious. I mean, he's serious about it. Well, you know what? The guys, you'll get help. And they're respectful, and they're respectful of the person that they're trying to learn from. They really genuinely actually look up to them, and people see that and they know, and they'll harass them and rib them and make fun of them, and that's part of it. If my dad always said, I got teased a lot. I hated it, and it's taken me a long time to take a rib and joke around because I hated it. My dad always told me, he said, well, you know, you need to lighten up. You need to learn how to take a joke. We're just joking. If we didn't like you, we wouldn't kid you. Well, I never understood that, but I do now, because I've been on both sides of that too. You know, the guy that generally don't like you, he's gonna be crappy towards you. He don't like you at all. He's gonna let you know, and his comments are gonna be condescending and crappy and shitty, just shitty. And hey, man, you know, and I've had that attitude towards me to people I've looked up to and thought a lot of, and it makes you feel real bad, and you just don't know what you did wrong. But I got over that shit. That's his damn loss, or whoever's damn loss. We might have been good buddies, but he couldn't get over the fact, or whoever can't get over the fact that he didn't like something about me. I don't know what, and I don't lose sleep over it anymore. And the older you get, you'll figure these things out. But that old school attitude, it's still around. There's a lot more people out these days who are more freer with information to help people. That's why you have all these trainers of horses and whatever. Everybody's a clinician or an expert, and I don't give a damn about that. But I do care about the lifestyle and I guess the image of a cowboy. And they're not all wild and crazy, and we can be, but a lot of the guys I know are just good folks, and that's the people I gravitate towards. And I get asked a lot, how did you learn how to do this? Well, I was day working a lot. I was collecting this stuff before I started building it. I was trading this stuff before I started building. I always had I can build that stuff, but I already knew how to weld. I already knew how to do mechanical stuff. I grew up on I grew up on ranches and stuff, and self-sufficient stuff. You do chores and you work. I was mowing and raking hay when I was 7 years old, driving a truck, hauling trash to the dump in the back part of the ranch when I was 7 years old. So I learned how to drive when I was 7. I grew up out in the country, had 6 or 7 dogs running around with me at all times. Carried a BB gun. Hell, I carried a 22 when I was like 7 or 8. My dad taught me how to shoot. It was a single shot and taught me the safety of it. And I respected the gun. And I knew those basic things we learn, responsibilities. But anyways, how I got into this, man, I was actually, like I said, I was my grandpa farmed all his life, and rice and corn, and I didn't really get into any of that. He did hay, so that's what I wanted to do. I worked for him a lot. I love that agricultural stuff, cows, everything, anything tractor wise. My dad, he worked on ranches and stuff, and then he had to provide for a family, and he had to get real jobs and leave behind that. And Dad could rope. There's no doubt about it. He was a hell of a calf roper, and a hell of a team roper. Back in the 80s, when team roping was something that guys did in the arena, they didn't really, there was not all the knowledge of team roping that there is now. I mean, he could have done a hell of a lot. He could have probably gone farther. He says he could have gone further in calf roping. He could have gone pro, and I no doubt. But he had to leave behind, a ranch he was working on, and we had to move to the outskirts of the city. And I actually, went to high school. We always had horses and rope steers, and I worked ropings and stripping chutes, and I knew how to work cattle. I knew how to move cattle, and I just learned that stuff. I mean, I kind of got away from it for a while in high school, in the city, but I knew we always had animals, always. Chores and crap to do. It's part of it. So I graduated, and I went to diesel mechanic school because I was working for my grandfather, and I liked that. I wanted to take over the custom hay business because I liked it. And I liked working on equipment. I liked fabricating things when it broke. repacking bearings on stuff, fixing gangs of discs, stuff that, learning how to shoot grade on land, running the bulldozers, everything mechanical. I could get on a piece of equipment in about 30 minutes. I can be running it, and those are the things that I like to do. I like clearing land and coming back and refurbishing it and making it look like, wow, really nice. Stuff that you can see before and after, and this is no different. I'm taking this and making something that's cool or beautiful, just like clearing land or putting up a fence. You can see the results after you're done, and I take pride in that. Things that are going to be there long after you're gone, or you can go by 15 years later and say, man, I built that fence. Me and a couple of buddies built that fence. I like that. That's just me personally, and that's why I like this. A lot of these things are going to be here after I'm dead and gone, and that's pretty cool. If I couldn't leave something behind, this is it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be here after I'm gone. So that's kind of cool when you think about it. I mean, to be collectible, yeah. But how I got into this is a little history of me. But how I got into this, I was tired of mechanicking and just hell with this shit. I was working on big trucks. I hated it. And I just said, I'm done. Some old man told me, he said, well, you want to change careers, you better think about it before you're 50. Because when you're my age, you ain't going to be able to do it. And I was like 24, I think. I quit. I got a job on a ranch, and that was a whole another deal. But I was happy. I was back to doing what I was around cattle and that kind of stuff. And, I lost that and then drifted here and there. And then I went out west and worked. And luckily, you couldn't find many jobs for cowboys full-time where I was at down in southeast Texas. And so, I have made some contacts and stuff, and I went out west, and I'm tell you what, it's hard. I didn't know how to work big country. We just run small traps mostly, and you get out in that big country, you get your ass chewed out. I promise you. They make you feel about that big, but they want you to go home. They're testing you, and it's that way on almost every outfit you'll ever work for in your life. They're going to test you to see if you got it right here, and not just, hey, I'm a cowboy, I can ride horses, whatever. We're gonna prove. You're going to prove to us that you're worthy of riding with us, and you don't run your mouth, and they'll kill you off, send you home. And another one. But I wanted it bad enough. I worked for $45 a day. And, got busted up and hurt. But I went back. I mean, I proved myself. But, they wanted they liked, I think they told me that they liked me because I could fix stuff. I could weld. I could repack bearings on trailers and fix things that went wrong if they did. A jack of all trades kind of feller. That's what ranches normally want now. And horseback jobs, so that where you're riding, are few and far between. You got to learn you got to know how to do all kinds of stuff. That's the truth of it. And if you want a riding job, you need to go to Nevada. Work BLM land where they move cattle every day. And it's just like any other job. It's going to get old unless you just want to ride every day. And so you or working a feedlot. You can horseback every day, But anyways, the fun part about cowboy, and even though you have to do all these things and fix fence and build fence and stuff like that, it's the branding time. It's, you know, gathering up, and that's the fun time, working the cows. That's the reward, and for 2 times a year. You know, that for getting to have to put up with all the other BS you got to put up with. But now I'm getting off the subject, but people have asked me how I got into this. Well, I'm just kind of giving you an example, actually a story where I came from. So I was working cows, day working, and for a while there it was pretty heavy and steady. It was hard for me to get in there. No, you know, everybody's so damn cliquish, you can't get in because you don't look like them, or you don't do what they do, or that pissed me off, you know. So I went west and cultivated my persona and style, and learned a lot. And it was not easy at all. Especially when it's dying out everywhere. You're learning skills and stuff that, you know, people aren't using anymore. But they helped me when I got back to my part of the world, country. I had enough confidence that, man, I can handle this stuff on my own. So eventually I picked up work, but it wasn't steady where I'm at. You know, it wasn't steady. Well, I heard from a person. We were eating in a cafe one time. We were working some cows, and this guy come in and sat down and ate with us. And he has some. He was. I liked him. Everybody. This is the mentality I'm talking about. He had his family was heirs to the 06 in Alpine, and I'd never been out there, but he'd come in, sat down, and sat with us. And, oh yeah, sit down. And you know, he's talking about Alpine and talking about 06 and all this and da. And I'm just, really? Yeah. And I'm the only one asking him questions. Because that shit is right here. I like that. I'm interested in that. These other guys, they don't give a damn about it. Because they ain't never been anywhere but in that part of the world. And I was the kind that want to go. I'd go there. I want to go there. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to see this and see that. I was the only one out of that table of 6 people that give a damn about listening to him. Because, oh, he's talking about all that damn shit. They don't care. So, but the only reason I'm telling you this story is that it is the mentality of that. Why should I pay $354 for a pair of spurs when I can buy them at the feed store for $65? Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. But the guy that's talking the Alpine and the history and the cool stuff, he will. He will. And that's the customers I have. And cowboys who do collect this stuff, who find value. It's their job. Why wouldn't you spend that much money on saddles? And, I mean, take some pride in your job, in your work, and what it reflects. You know, that's the whole... I never understood that. I tried to. I've watched my old, hey, Dad, you know, watch and learn, boy. Oh, I did that. I understand that now. You know, you watch and see what works. You see the pride a guy takes in his equipment. You don't want to... Some people want to be like that person. I just wanted to, you know, learn more. Well, if he's riding, what does this bit do and that horse is, you know, what's the function of this bit? Okay, I understand. You tell me, and, well, you know, and you watch it work. You know, spurs is a tool. It's a tool. how big, how whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a tool. It's all on how you use them. It's not a fashion statement. It can be, but they're tools. Everything that you're using is a tool. Some guys like to be a little more flashier and different, and that's where I come in, and all the other makers that are buddies of mine, they want stuff different from everybody else's. Drums. So this guy had said, "Man, there's a spur maker here in town." My ears perked up. Really? I hadn't heard about it. How long has it been here? About a year. Well, golly. I never knew. And where's he at? So I left immediately. We went back and finished working the cattle, and then it was about 5 o'clock in the evening. I said, "Well, I got time before I head home. I'm gonna stop by and visit with this guy." Well, I did, and we got to BSing, and I ordered a set of buckles and conchos from Wes Griffin. We got talking. Super cool guy, down to earth. If I'd have seen him on the street, I'd have never thought he was a bit and spur maker. Just he's a regular dude, and he is. He's a regular dude, just cool. And but he was somebody that I gravitated towards because he was cool people. And that's how I got into this. I ordered that, and this is funny. It was about 3 months later. I stopped by. We were working somewhere. I stopped by. Oh, let's check on my conchos, or my spur buckles and concho for my spurs. It wasn't expensive, and that's why I ordered it. I didn't have a whole lot of money to spend, but I was going to give him a try because, hell, he's right here. And that visit, I stopped, and he, "Oh, no, I hadn't I got him done yet. I got this, and And I said, "Man, I would like to learn how to do this." He said, "Well, hell, come by. You ain't got nothing to do, come by." When he said that, I was there almost every day. Every day. I probably bugged the shit out of him. But I never got in his way. I stayed and stood back. I watched him. Just like my dad had said, I watched him work. And we visited and talked, and I tried not to get in his way and disrupt him from doing his, be respectful of his work and his time, basically his time. So I got to know him, and so it rained a lot down there. It used to. It was always raining. Well, there's one month it rained, I swear to God, every day. If it wasn't raining, it was drizzly and nasty, you still couldn't do anything. If there was a couple days it didn't, it rained on the third day. And it was just, I didn't do nothing for a month. I was in that shop every day. Every day. And I first time I picked up his engraver, I was scared to break it. I don't want to break it. Oh, well, you ain't gonna hurt it. He didn't care. He knew, and he couldn't. I'm very blessed. I guess this video, I'm very blessed to have the opportunity to learn from a guy like him, because and that's why I have a lot of respect for Wes Griffin. People that don't know him want to talk crap. You just don't know him. Or if you're talking crap about him, you probably aren't profiting from him anymore. That's the reason you're talking shit about him. And that's the truth. So, because he built stuff, cool stuff, and he sold it cheap, and I never understood that, but it was necessary to feed him, and he had to get rid of it. He couldn't sit on it. But I know his story, and that's between me and him. So, but if I'm going to tell you he's a stand-up guy, and he'll do anything he can to do to help you, yeah, if he likes you, and you treat him good, which is anybody, really. But I didn't get in his way. Next thing you know, hey, I tell you what, yeah. And he had a plan. I guess I fit in his plan. If God has a plan for everybody, and I must have fit in that plan at that time for him. He had a plan to have somebody apprentice. That's what he told me. Anyways, so, and I just happened to fit in that deal. It's just funny how things work. You just never know. I went from cowboying to tinkering with this stuff, and basically to build my own stuff. I never really wanted to sell it, make money. I wanted to build stuff for me. So people say, "Oh man, that's cool. Who made that?" I did. And it that's how I got it. Wes Griffin. He's the reason I am sitting in this business today. And I'll defend him over fists. If anybody wants to badmouth him, everybody's human, man. When a guy's worked for 14 years, 15 years building this stuff and giving it away and gets burnt out, I understand that. Now, enough's enough. You get burnt out on anything. He's a silversmith. That guy is a silversmith. He is an engraver. He loves that stuff. So, I learned his negativity in the business. He taught me all the bads and the goods and the rewards and you're not going to get rich doing this. You're just not. If you get in it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons, because there is none. Unless you find a way to finagle people and lie to them and get their money from them. There's a few of those out there that do this stuff, and I'm not going to name any names. That's for the consumers to figure out. But this is just kind of how I got into this. It's interesting. I think it's interesting. It's my history. It's my history. And you know what? I apprenticed with him for 4 years. I would call it apprenticing, but actually, I paid my dues. Just like in cowboying, you pay your dues. I tried not to ever be a leech on him or suck him down. I tried to help him if he needed help. Like, I'd buy more silver solder than I could. I'd buy silver and I bought us some silver. I'd buy oxygen, acetylene. I couldn't afford to do a whole lot. I couldn't, but whatever I had bought. And usually, saw blades, it's ours. You're teaching me. The least I can do is help you with stuff if I'm learning from you. And that's kind of what I did. And I think I did that. He didn't ever ask me to do that. I did that. And I think that's why it worked pretty good. And why I stayed with him for 4 years. And he'd show me how to do things, and I'd do them. If we needed to cut out parts for bits, mouthpieces, I'd make 11, 10 for him, and 1 for me. And then I'd watch him weld them, and then I sat down and I welded mine. He may stand over my shoulder and tell me I need to do this, this, and this, but most of the time he turned me loose. And I'd sit and watch him do each one of those, and then I'd do mine. And he never touched anything I did. I did it. He'd say, a lot of times he said, well, if you did this and this, it'd make it faster. He wouldn't stand over me and show me easy ways to do it. Man, I tell you what, he really taught me a lot. But he didn't sit there and hold my hand at all. And if I asked a question, he wouldn't try to make me figure it out first. I see that now. But there's times when he would just flat out tell me, well, you got to do this. This is how I do it. You can do whatever you want, but this is how I do it. So, and never had a bad word to say about anybody, man. In this business, there's so much shit talking and people hating on each other. People hated on him. They saw him as a threat. He never said nothing bad about anybody as long as I'm around. He never did. That's a right hand to the man right there. So, but people like to throw stones. But we're still good friends to this day. I haven't seen him in 3 months. He had to get a job working oil field ship, making good money. But everything he did was to better himself, to be a silversmith, to eventually engrave on guns, and beautiful work. But every time I learned that from him. To better himself, he went and worked and stayed sort of in the craft. Whether it was learning to engrave, self-taught engraver, y'all. He's a self-taught, and he's doing stuff under microscopes now. It's phenomenal, and gets looked over because he didn't fit in the party, I guess. But he should be right there with him. I talk highly of him because I respect him. And like I said, I hadn't seen him in, it's been probably 3 months or more. I haven't even talked to him. I just happened to call him up. Hey, I come by, I'm here. Okay. Man, I stayed there for 4 hours. Looking at all the things he's done. He tried to help me show me some stuff on the engraver, and he put it in a perspective where I could really understand it. And you just can't get that kind of knowledge, and he gives it away, because he'd give me a pile of drawings. They were in the trash. It's crazy. He is the type that always thinks he can do better. And most guys that do this, they're never happy with anything they build. They never are. There's an imperfection in every piece that they build. Even myself, there's an imperfection. It's not perfect. And if you have that mentality, you're always going to build good stuff. I don't care who you are. It's the guys that, that's the best. They talk highly of themselves. Okay. They walk around with that attitude too. There ain't no place for that in this stuff. You make more enemies that way than you will being humble down and respectful of other makers, especially the guys that have been doing this 25 and 35 years. I'm gonna be there one day, but yeah, Russell Yates has helped me a lot. I became really good friends with him. Super good guy. Just like Wes, super good people. Stuart Williamson, good people. Dossie Cribbs, good people. A lot of up-and-coming guys, good people. Just same kind of, come from the same people. You kind of get in the clique. You find out where you fit in at Alchemy or whatever it is. You feel you fit in to a group. And I've been in several. I've got all kinds of friends all over. Different. Some don't even have nothing to do with horses. And I like that. I don't want to just be. You ain't cowboy. I don't want to be friends with you, man. That's crazy. You never know when that guy might you might need help from that guy. So that's no way to be. But that's how I got into this. And if it wasn't for him and me stopping by one day, I'm gonna meet a spur maker. I'm gonna get me some goodies. 4 or 5 months later, I watched him build my stuff. That's how much. That's how much. And that was like, and it wasn't a. I learned watching him with orders and people. Oh man, it's always on me. I know how it feels now, and I stayed there and tried to. Hey man, how about we build my spur buckles? And one day whipped them out right there in front of me. I watched him build them. And it was pretty cool. That's actually the ones that are I wear all the time. With my brand on them, on the Concho, on the spur, and those mean a lot to me. Those I saw them built right in front of my eyes and finished. And I know the guy that made them, and he taught me so much. I show people my second pair of spurs I ever built. One year at Abilene, they were like, "That ain't your second pair of spurs. I don't even want to show you my fifth or 10th." Well, I understand that, but I had a major hand in getting me from here to up here in like that. But you can apprentice and learn from so many people. My stuff looked like Wes's because I didn't have any my own designs, and I really didn't know how to draw that well. I used to draw a long time ago, but I just discipline to draw was the key, and I still don't do that enough. But the guys that are good, they'll sit down and devote 30 minutes to an hour of drawing scrolls, flowers. Wilson Capron. That guy is a phenomenal drawer and can put that on silver. But he devotes an hour or 30 minutes to an hour every morning to drawing and picking up where he left off every day. He's got beautiful tablets full of drawings. Wes has too. Wes does too. And most of his go in the trash because he thinks he can do better. And he can, but some of the stuff he does is, man, why are you throwing that away? That's cool. I'd put that on the wall. He can do better. I'll draw another one. You're welcome to it if you want it. Man, I can't do that. I have to get from, I'm at this level and he's up here. I can't get up there. I got to crawl up. I'm still learning in this stuff. I appreciate all the compliments about my work, and they make me feel good. All your stuff is awesome. There is a lot of guys out there that are way better than I am. Way better. I've tried to fit a niche market, and I'm that guy that'll put naked girls on your stuff. I get rank on it. That's fine. Other makers send those people to me. Yeah, I'll do that. So I don't want my name on something like that. Man, that's life. You can put stripper poles on stuff. Strippers on poles on your stuff. I'm not going to wear that. That's not personally what I like to represent. But if you do, man, I'm not going to judge you for it. Because honestly, that's life. That's real. And I'm about real. So that's how I got into this. And it was for him. But I did it for 4 years, and then it wasn't until I had to move. I moved away and everything, and it wasn't accessible to get to him. I didn't have a welder or anything. And now the high heat solder saved me. I was building buckles and conchos because I didn't have to have a welder. All I could get my stuff ordered, and I could work. I had my grinders and everything I needed. Just didn't have a welding machine. It wasn't until I bought a welding machine. If I needed to weld something, I went 50 or 60 miles to weld something, but I had to get everything ready. So when I got there, I didn't waste any time. I got down, I got welded, got everything welded up, and then I went back and then finished them. So until I got a welding machine, and that's when I was, when you broke away. But I'm gonna tell you what, I starved. But I come from the days of day work. There ain't much of it. You're either hauling cattle or doing something else. You're riding outside horses, and I didn't do much of that, but I did a little bit. I tried. You got to come up with some ideas, and you do that when you're. I had my stuff kind of looked like Wes's because that's all I had to look at every day. My flowers, everything, the bit designs. A lot of the bit designs that I use are Wes Griffin bit designs. The guy can flat out draw some bits up and awesome stuff. And he may build 4 or 5 of them sets and say and draw up some more. And never build them again. And that's amazing. I mean, so much in that in his mind. It all kinds of ideas. But I really looked up to him because he is my mentor. So, but other than that, we became really good friends. Like I said, I hadn't seen him when we sat down and bullshitted. Like we ain't never been apart. Just this and that, and look what I'm doing here, and oh man, that's cool. And guy building his own belt sander system with pulleys. He's not gonna spend $1,500 to buy a Bader. He's gonna build his own. That's ingenuity. Money will buy you all kinds of goodies and fancies, but it's those shops like them blacksmiths. The blacksmith shops, you go in there, they build their own crap. So, it's another whole deal to get into, but yeah. Well, I had to, you can learn and take ideas from other people, but if you lock yourself in a room and don't look at anybody else's work and come up with something that's your own, and it's hard to do, and so much stuff is mass produced. It's the buyer's number 4 is everybody's done that. So I think my battery's going low. Damn. But anyways, you lock yourself in a room, you develop your own looks and styles. I mean, come up with the next big idea. You think it's gonna take off, but it don't. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it will. You gotta be careful. You get on an idea, and everybody wants it, and that's all you're gonna be doing is building that deal, and it's gonna get old. I don't like building the same thing ever. I don't like repetition, unless it's certain things. But it's not related. But yeah, you can't. For me, I can't build the same thing. A lot of guys don't build the same stuff. They don't like to. Some do. Some of them treat it or assembly line mentality. I'm not. Look at this. Okay, I need to fix that. Oh man, I need to work on that. Let me go work on this. Oh man, I need to saw this. Damn. All over the place. So it's really hard for me. I have to, when I sit down and focus on something, I've got to stay hooked. If not, I'll get off schedule and be behind. So, but usually I'm working on 4 to 5 projects at a time. So I may do a little bit on this project and get bored with it and go over here and say, you know what, I need to get on this order and start working on it. Basically, I look at my orders and then do the rotation. So that's kind of how I work. A lot of guys, and I don't like taking money up front. I do take some, but I don't want to get in the position where I'm 5 years behind and I've taken everybody's money and people are knocking down my door and at shows. Hey man, I paid $600 5 years ago. Where's my stuff? I'm not going to get in that position. I avoid that. I don't want to be. That's me personal. That's something I can't do. That's my own conscience. I'm going to keep mine. So that's just me though. And it's going to take longer to get your stuff that way. But if you didn't pay for anything until I call you, you're not going to be bugging me. And if you do call me and bug me and you ain't pay me no money, then I'm sorry about your bad luck. I don't have to listen to it. I don't mean to be crappy. It just... sorry. And they may go to somebody else. That's fine. So, it's the freedom I got. I'm not trying to be crappy. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the truth. It's just how I work. And just it's some questions that people have asked me. It's kind of this is what I do. Used to juggle this between day work and when I wasn't day working, I would do this. And I like doing this because if somebody called you and say, "Hey, I need your help tomorrow for 2 days working cows or hauling or going at, leaving. Hey, I need you to come team drive with me, haul cattle." All right, how long we gone? Week. Okay, I can do that. So, you can't just make it day working. And that's how I got into this. Because the guy I used to haul cattle with, very successful at it. And he day works, and he rides outside horses. And he's my top salesman.